Keep on saying you're unable to join. There you
I'm
go,
in.
Mama. You
Girl, I
made
was
it.
like, well, how do I do this?
So Instagram Live is a platform that you could do like FaceTime. You can go live with somebody, virtual. You can talk about anything on here. It's a pretty cool thing. You can show off your products or whatever you're doing live
Oh, okay.
to everyone, your friends. I know. People be like, "What is this? What is this?" But thank you for joining with me. I know how it is with the babies and trying to get them all settled. I know, girl.
Yeah, it
But you did
is.
that. Okay, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're on a time schedule. But basically, what my platform, the Single Mother Foundation, is that I'm linking up with moms. I want to use my platform to tell their story, give some other single woman advice. So hopefully you can help someone tonight. And I know we were supposed to have been connected about the book, about your book project. So I think this
Oh,
would be
yeah.
a good time for you to tell people about what you wrote about. Tell people about yourself,
Oh,
how we
what?
met, and
Oh,
I know we met at school, but talk about your
yeah.
book.
Was it in eighth grade? Yeah, I think it was in eighth grade. Yeah,
Girl,
we met in eighth
yeah.
grade. Yeah,
Mhm.
jumpers. Okay, so my book basically is called Women's of Promise, and I am a co-author. So I joined with 129 other women around the world to basically explain how the spiritual journey works and
Okay.
how each story is different, each trial is different. So we may go through, sometimes we're like, dang, why did I have to go through this? Or I wasn't, I didn't want to be born to do this or whatever. But the
Yeah.
way God works is he allows us to go through certain things, certain pains to grow us, up to the person, the man or the woman that he wants us to do. And it's up to us really to accept it. And I chose to accept it 2 years ago. And so, with that spiritual journey, awakening, or however people say it, it came with a whole lot of pain, and it's still coming with a whole lot of pain, but it's also coming with growing. And with that, I had to leave a marriage, that wasn't good for me. I had to leave a relationship, that another relationship after my marriage that wasn't good for me. Like, I was kicking and screaming, but he was like, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and leave that because it's not good for you. So I'm like, okay. But after I did that, I was asked to do the book. And so, I'm single. I'm a single mom, but it's so much weight lifted off of my shoulders because I was a mom and a dad, even though I was married and in a
Oh,
relationship.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the book basically talks about different stories, people, how they got through their situation. Mine was, it was like, a prophetic type of thing. So, some people, they do different ministries in the church, and they go through certain things growing up to where they see things, and other people that don't understand that, they be like, oh, well, you crazy, you seeing stuff. But me, I had to sing crazy in order for God to do what he wants to do in my life. So that that required me to really not have friends. I had to be isolated, which was tough at the beginning for me. But, being the black sheep, which I know I'm not the only one of the family, is not a bad thing once you understand your purpose. And my
Ah,
purpose is to basically reach mothers and children. So, but with that, I had to be single. I had to be a single mom.
so it came around full circle for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So now it makes sense. Your
Hmm.
spiritual journey now it makes sense because you have to go through what you had to go through to help someone else.
Right.
So it's crazy how God be working like that in our lives and
Hmm.
how he has to break us down to build us up. You
Oh,
know, and there's tons of single mothers out there who feel the same way. Like, why am I down here? Why do I feel this type of way? And not knowing it's not even about you, baby girl. It's about somebody else.
oh yeah. I was like, man, why do I have to be single? Like, I'm a good person. I'm a good mom. I was a good
Yeah.
wife and all this stuff. And it's like, well, it's not about you, because the next person needs to learn, they need to know, how can they get out that situation? What do they have to do? How are they able to still raise their children and have, a business, work and do certain things? And, unfortunately, that's how, God created us. He created us to help the next person. He didn't create
Yeah.
us just for us to live here. It's definitely, we all have a purpose.
It's very good that you were obedient. That's a testimony within itself. Just imagine you staying with your ex-husband or your boyfriend or whatever. Do you think you would have been where you at today?
No, girl, no. Mm-mm. Heck no. I was gone. Like, it was a whole lot of pain in that. I was wrapped up in them and not
Yeah,
what I needed to do. So,
yeah.
like, even though I'm in the medical field, but because they didn't know what they wanted, they were holding me back from what I wanted to do. So it took me longer to do what I need to do. But then I'm like, oh, well, I guess I wasn't supposed to be in the medical field, but it still worked out because I still have to help, so many people that was in my shoes.
So that's some information you can pull from that situation. The fact that the medical field is still you're still caring, you're still helpful for people, but just in a different way, just in a roundabout
Hmm.
way. And as women, we get into these relationships and we put the men first. Like we take care of our men. I'm not gonna lie. You want to make sure your man needs is met. But then that's always stagnating us because we're not putting ourselves first and putting our journey first in our kids and what we need to do. So
Exactly. And
that's
especially if the man don't know what he wants and everything is just a convenience, oh, you're
hmm
definitely going to be held back and stagnant, and you're going to completely lose yourself in the process, and then it's going to take you longer to even find who you are. And
okay.
that's a very, like, for me, it took me a while to be obedient. It took me a
Yeah,
while because, of course, we want to be in relationships and stuff like that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like, okay, so what am I gaining out of this relationship? Yes, I have my babies, of course. I love being a mom, but it's like, okay, it's not just my kids. He's a child too,
Yeah, yeah,
you
that's
know?
true. That man got a soul. It'd be like that's somebody's son. You know what I mean? That's somebody's son. And
Yeah.
you got in that bond with the kid, it makes it all the worth of the pain of leaving him. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
The
And
bond of like
yeah,
and like
and then
passing
I also
away.
learned that when you're in a relationship and you're constantly accepting what you don't deserve, it's because you have to figure out what the cause is within yourself. It's you. It's not them.
Run that back one more way. Wait, it's me.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like, you're trying to figure out, why do I keep on attracting these no good men? Or why do I keep on attracting somebody that's not prepared to accept who I am? Because no one should be in a relationship to where you have to basically pretend to be who you're not. And a lot of times when we're in relationships,
Oh my God.
that's what we do, because we want to be in a relationship so bad. We're going to accept everything and then some. And then, we're wondering why aren't our needs met, or why aren't we happy? And that's literally because we, as women or men, still
Mhm.
have things from our past that needs to be
Address.
acknowledged and needs to be healed from. And then once that process starts, and when you start to heal and stuff like that, that's when you start learning who you are. And then God will actually literally send you who you never would have expected to be your man or woman. Oh,
Yeah.
go.
Girl, you definitely dropping gems tonight, girl. Ladies, do y'all hear that? We gotta heal. We have to heal. We have to heal. How can we expect to receive the man that is supposed to be with us when we're not 100% right ourselves as women?
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
deep. It gets deep, Chandra. It gets deep.
Oh,
Now
girl,
let's
I
go
had to
back.
learn the hard way.
Yeah, and let's go back and talk about it. Being hard headed, not listening, knowing, you know better.
You know how when they always say, "Oh, something told me not to do that." No, that wasn't something. That was God telling you not to go that way, or not to sleep with that person, or not to
Hmm.
go on the date with him or her, and you did it anyway. And then now you're in a situation where you're like, "Why did I do that?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
So,
feeling of uneasiness, of uncertainness, a little bit of shame up in there, but we are our worst critics. We take it hard on ourselves too. And I know that when I'm out here, I call myself be like, "Ooh, I should go on a date. I should go on a date." And then when I go on, I'm like, "Why am I even here? Like, this don't even make no sense. Like, I need to take my butt back home somewhere." You know what I mean? But we human and we female and we want to date and get out there and talk to men, but it has to be in order.
yeah,
I feel, yeah, it has to be in order. I feel like we need to have our, ducks in a row, all, you know what I mean? That's single moms before we can even entertain a man. Make sure
hmm
your kids is right, make sure you was right, mentally, spiritually, all that stuff. And then, go out there and start dating. But do it with intention. Do it with intention when you get
right.
out
I
here
mean,
first
you
thing.
can date, you can go ahead and date because everybody should date and stuff like that. But there is a time where God wants you to be isolated. And
Yeah.
there's no hanging out, there's no dating, there's no, you're going to be focused just on you and your kids
Yeah.
if you have children.
That season. You're gonna be in that season of isolation. And let's talk about that. Because I'm not the type to be isolated. So when I'm isolated, something wrong with me because I'm always out there. I'll be outside, girl. So when you see me isolated and not posted and when I'm getting a little bit distant, I'm going through some things. I don't know what it is, but God is definitely working on me. I'm thinking of a master plan or something, and then I'm gonna come outside later. But yeah, the isolation is important because that's where the work is done. That's where the most work is done, is when you're isolated. When it's
Oh
you,
yeah.
yourself, God, your plan, your vision, and what you got to do, that's where the work begins.
I mean, of course, we're gonna kick and scream at the beginning, but then when you start to realize what God is doing, you'll begin to be like, "Oh, well, dang, I actually like being at home." I
Yeah,
like just being by myself.
cause alone ain't no fun. Being lonely is boring. Being lonely, it can have so many connotations to it, but it has serves a purpose. The quicker you understand your purpose and get your work done and what you got to do, the quicker you're gonna come out that season.
hmm
We the one who prolong it because we up here talking about the negative aspects and it's making it worse. No, do listen. God gave you this opportunity for a reason. Take it.
hmm
Take it. Take it because if not, if you don't learn your lesson, children, you know what's gonna happen. You're gonna go through it again and
Yeah,
again
and
and
I didn't like that.
again.
I didn't like going in circles, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'll
Yeah.
just go ahead and take everything that you're gonna give me and learn from
Heck
it.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that part
Yeah.
is the hard part. And when God sits you down, that is the most painful. When I say
Oh yeah.
painful,
Mm-hmm.
painful season ever. I mean, it's worth it, but it's painful. But it's also necessary.
What do you think the pain is coming from? You think it's because we feel like we lost something?
We
Or
feel
is it
like
because we don't want to do it? We fighting internally because we don't want to
yeah,
do it?
we don't want our flesh. Our flesh
Yeah.
is fighting. It's overpowering everything. We don't want to do it, and then of course, don't nobody want to look in the mirror.
Ooh.
Nobody want to look in the mirror. So when it's time to look at yourself, you're like, no, I don't want to do it. And that's part of
Yeah.
the process. You have to look at yourself and know that yeah, you're part of the problem, and we don't want to do that.
You are part of the problem.
Yeah. So that's what I had to learn. I'm like, dang, all right. And and then the pride gets in the way, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to admit that. And
Yeah.
so And then, you have to learn humility. You have to learn so much. And in that process, and so people in general, we avoid that. We avoid everything when it comes to looking in the mirror, because it's so
Yeah.
much easier to just point the finger at the next person.
Yeah, because it take it all off from you. But then we gotta hold ourselves accountable. So I believe in accountability partners. I believe in, having someone by my side to hold me accountable. Because shoot, I might slip to the right, I might slip to the left, but someone could always push me on the right path, and that's okay. That's okay. But when you are by yourself and isolated, it's kind of hard because all you have is yourself and the grace of God.
Yeah,
That
that's
strength that comes from within you, to push you through the
yeah.
trials, the tribulations. You still got to show up as a mom, at coworkers. And then you still got to go home and think about, how did my day go? My self care. What am I doing for me? It's all a balance, and how you get through it is how you get through it. Each person has a way to get through it, but I think each way can be tweaked a little bit. I'm not saying there's no right or wrong way, but I feel like if you're doing more than the other, you're gonna be off balance. Like, you still gotta cook, you still gotta clean, you gotta do everything. You just can't let your house be nasty, you know what I mean? So you have to do a little bit at a time with yourself. Yeah, self care
Right.
is important.
Oh
Self
yeah,
care
it's very,
is
very
definitely
important. And
important.
I'm still learning
Mhm.
that. I'm still learning on my spiritual journey, almost 2 years. I'm still learning how to balance it all. And in this season, God always prepares somebody specifically for each and every one of us, like to help us grow through our
Yeah,
season. So with mine was my cousin. And so, like, every single question I needed answered, she was there to answer it. She wasn't there to sugarcoat nothing. She was so completely honest. She was so helpful. It's very important to have a person that you can depend on, because going through stuff alone is
yes,
not it. It's
no,
not
it's
it.
not.
And
Yeah,
God doesn't want us to go through anything. Although there's a period where you are going to be by yourself, with just yourself and you, or you and your kids. But then, when He knows that you're ready, He'll bring somebody that's literally divinely for you, not necessarily, in a romantic relationship, but,
yeah,
just a friend or a family that you can depend on, that He sent for
yeah.
you to prepare, that He prepares specifically for you, and to help you get through everything that you have to go through, because they already went through it.
That's real. That's real. And those people are God sent. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Those people are God sent, and those people when you see them and when you meet them.
Hmm.
But a little bit about your background and your spiritual journey. I think that's your strong suit. Because I felt like I was running from my calling for years. Oh my gosh. Still in the club, doing knowing damn well I ain't supposed to be in the club, was still doing it, finding the temptations of the world, you know what I mean? Knowing I was called to help single mothers as well, help to push and motivate and inspire, but was running
Hmm. And then
until
you was doing all that stuff and you still wasn't happy.
wasn't happy. No, because I go to the club, I'm like, I don't even go out no more. It's like not even.
Yeah, because He took that
Mm-mm.
desire away from you. And that's what He
Yeah,
does. Like, He searches your heart. So if He knows that there's something that you want to change from, He'll help you through it. But of course, there's going to be some kicking and screaming, some pain. But, eventually you're going to come out like, dang, I didn't miss nothing.
no, no, no. I don't think I missed anything, and the discipline is definitely there now. The discipline, the growth, the maturity. What I know now, you couldn't tell me I was going to do this 2 or 3, 5, years ago. You couldn't tell me.
Hmm.
And what I've been through is for a purpose, like you said. You know, I felt like marriage wasn't the accomplishment, but staying married is. So now my first marriage didn't work out. Okay, that's cool.
It didn't work out for a reason.
Thank you. Thank you. But now my second one, yeah,
Hmm.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But as soon as I said, okay, that's what I'm going to do, then doors just starting to open. I'm meeting people. I'm getting visions. I'm getting inspiration. I'm getting motivated. You know, I'm looking forward to my platform growing and meeting other single moms. And hopefully that can bless someone else with their words and what they went through in their stories. So I'm looking forward to this. You
Right,
know,
because you had your isolation moment, your season.
yeah, exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. And you know what? And your intuition is tough. It's not. You're not to be messed with. You not. I can tell. You not playing. God done did a working on you, girl. Yes,
Girl,
he
I be
did.
like, people, people be like, please don't look at me because look like you can just literally tell me my whole life story.
But that's a gift. And you know what? I'm still working on my discernment. It's not as strong as I want it to be, but that is definitely a goal for me. Because but then I gotta be careful what I pray for too. Because I know when I ask for that call, I gotta work in it too. I gotta work in that. If that's what I want and God bless it with me, I have to work in that. I have to operate in that gift. Um
Yeah. And it
yeah.
comes with a whole lot of stuff.
And you feel people's pain and pressure and stuff, and you got to work through it. See, no, God, listen.
Look, you know how when he say, there's somebody for every, he definitely, because at first I'm like, look, what the heck is going on, Lord? Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing? What are you doing? Why?
yeah,
There was times where I thought I was going crazy. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
maybe I need to admit myself into the crazy home,
yeah.
to get evaluated. And, somebody had to tell me, no, no. Everything
Okay,
that you're feeling, everything that you're seeing is literally supposed to happen, but you're
yeah.
going to feel like that. And then I had to learn not to say much. I had to be
Ooh,
quiet. At first, I would say certain things and then people look at me crazy, like, but those are the people that weren't awake. They didn't understand how the spiritual realm works, and although I'm still learning, he literally took me through boot camp at the
yeah,
beginning,
yeah,
so it was just like test after test after and it still is. It still
yeah.
is,
So it's
and
still growing on you too. Yeah.
yeah.
And it's gonna make room for you though, Chandra.
Oh
Like I
yeah.
want to rush your process. Yeah, it's gonna make room for you in the end. And you finna just be like that badass spiritual, girl finna bless you. You go be speaking life and you just gonna be that badass woman. With due time, with your calling, you'll get this stuff. And so I'm gonna definitely keep you in my contacts, cause girl. I'll be like, Contract Drake, she gonna pray for you because, baby, don't give me up here. Listen, she gonna pull all these spirits out of you, honey. What's going on with you and your baby daddy? Chandra, call this girl. Let me tell you, she's going through some things, girl. Call her. Please pray with this girl.
Yeah, I
Because it's a
definitely didn't
lot.
know. Yeah, it is a lot, and I didn't know I was going to be here. I didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Not even
Growing up.
a little bit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So he definitely changed everything. When I say he changed everything, he did a whole 360 in my life.
But you're not mad. You be all right.
Oh no, not anymore. At the beginning, I was mad. I was
Yeah,
crying. It was a whole lot of crying, lonely
yeah,
nights,
yeah,
but now I'm like, Lord, thank you. Thank you for blocking, closing that door, keeping that door shut and not allowing me to get through it. Even the things that he, got not only me through, but you through and so many
yeah.
other people. Like there's a whole lot of things that people don't know that we went through, and
Mm-hmm.
literally God literally showed us grace, because I
Yeah.
mean, when I say we should have paid a whole lot of
Girl,
consequences.
girl, all that stuff, girl. I still got my peace of mind, and I'm thankful. I'm just thankful for where I am at today. Just the small things, girl, because the stuff I've been through, the stuff I've seen, the stuff I heard, girl.
Yeah, because the
Talking,
stuff that you saw and the stuff that you've been through, a lot of people can't get through.
and
You
it's
know,
hard for me to understand that. That's the hard part. Like, girl, this is nothing. Just get through it. But people ain't that strong.
mm-mm, no,
And I'm as I'm speaking to more and more single moms, I'm like, damn, yeah, they really need help out here.
Yes,
That's
yes.
where my weakness is gonna help. My strength is gonna help their weakness, because the
Hmm.
areas that I'm strong, I should be able to pull them through up. You know,
Right.
um, and it's all about my approach and not talking to these women, but talking with these women. I don't want to.
Hmm.
I don't want to talk to them like you need to. You should. I don't want to do that. I don't want that energy. But talk through them.
Because
Help
that's
them.
not how you're gonna get anything accomplished.
Yes. Yes.
Like
I don't want to.
nothing. Don't nobody want to
Yeah.
hear, you know, I don't want to hear you tell me what I'm not supposed to be doing
Yes.
in this process
Yes.
of me crying.
Yes. Me going through these hard times right now. I don't need no one badgering me right now, and that's where the heart is going to open. My heart is going to open for these women, because I'm a feel it. I understand it, and we're going to get through this together. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
definitely a growing platform. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but thank you for chiming
You're
in.
welcome. You're
See, it
welcome.
wasn't that bad, Chandra. See, just a couple minutes, Before I go, do you have anything that you want to give the ladies? Any word of advice? Anything that you want to say?
Um, yeah, listen to your intuition. Like that will never, ever, ever, ever give you wrong information ever. Like that will save you from a whole lot of stuff.
Okay.
Always listen to your intuition.
All right, now, ladies. Thank you for joining. Okay, bye, Chandra. I'll
All
talk to you
right, good
later.
night. All right.
Good night.
Bye.